Welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check out the description box below, also my channel homepage for more information. I encourage you to leave your insightful comments below. Let's dive right in. Today we'll be discussing why narcissists may be so jealous, competitive, and so mean. Basically, severe narcissism is one of the most complex and confusing psychological phenomena. And its complexity explains why so much is written about it and why there remains a need to continue educating the public about it. The focus of this video will be to address one facet of the disorder that remains so mysterious. Specifically, people who are in close proximity to severe narcissists often can't understand why the narcissist in their life can be so mean, get so jealous of their success or their happiness, and be so competitive with them, even when we're talking about two romantic partners. So, one word that will help you understand the narcissist is counterintuitive. This is the most helpful word in framing and understanding the narcissist. Now, what's most crucial is how the narcissist presents on the surface, which is entirely different from how the narcissist really feels underneath. There are two selves at work in the mind of a narcissist. Something we must always remember: there's the real self and the fraudulent fantasy self that they try to sell to everybody else. Severe narcissists have a predatory, score-keeping approach to the social world around them. The narcissist's daily life is spent fighting off potential threats to their ego and proving themselves as superior to everyone around them. And they have little peace of mind as they move through life. To understand why narcissists can be so mean in interpersonal relationships, you must first understand the unique motivations of the narcissist's intrapsychic world, or what goes on inside the mind of a narcissist. So most, if not all, severe narcissists are likely emotionally injured at some crucial time in their development, specifically at a time when a child is highly impressionable and when that child hasn't yet figured out how to shore up psychological guards or defenses to ward off things that make them feel bad. So when a young boy or girl is emotionally injured, it probably looks something like this. An authority figure or even a bullying kid at school may have humiliated them or knowingly neglected them or otherwise exploited them. In order to become severely narcissistic later in life, the emotional injury in childhood had to be severe enough that the child arrived at the following unconscious conclusion: no one will ever hurt me like this again. I will never let my guard down. So later in life, this way of relating to people and the world has been practiced over and over so many times for so many years that the personality becomes largely locked into place. And it is extremely challenging for the narcissist to let themselves be exposed. If someone or something threatens the narcissist's ego, the narcissist abruptly shifts into predator mode. In the mind of the narcissist, the social world includes two strict categories: winners and losers. There is no possible outcome that they can conceive of which everyone gets their needs met. There isn't enough attention and praise for everyone to go around. So, according to narcissistic logic, only a few lucky ones will be selected. When the narcissist feels most threatened, it is because someone has said or done something that makes the narcissist feel small, unnoticed, weak, or defective. And the narcissist cannot allow anyone or anything to make them feel like that under any circumstance. The narcissist's thinking goes something like this: any threat to his or her temperamental ego must be identified and erased immediately. If any threat continues, it must be destroyed by any means necessary. If you put down the narcissist or humiliate them publicly, you will unleash decades of old rage, and the narcissist will not stop until they feel you have been verbally and emotionally decimated. But you must also keep in mind that what a narcissist perceives as a slight is rarely based on what healthy or normal people would consider fair or reality based or objective. People who haven't been in close proximity to a severe narcissist would never believe the animalistic ugly wrath that spews from the narcissist when they are activated. Many boys and girls, or even men and women who have suffered at the hands of extreme narcissists, talk about how seeing such hate filled colors in another human being is traumatic in itself. These same people also find it hard to ever emotionally trust someone again who shows such unbridled predatory rage. Now, if you are in close proximity to a severe narcissist, understand that the meanness and viciousness the narcissist displays when threatened or held accountable is not personal. Narcissists can use words as bullets, zeroing in on anything that they can to unsettle and upset you. Being on the receiving end of this behavior is horrifying and confusing. Targets often turn to self help books or articles to make sense of the experience because it's so traumatic and disturbing. If you're in close proximity to a narcissist, I will highlight what is important for you to understand to move forward. At the root, severe narcissists are highly abnormal people who have a form of mental illness slash personality disorder. The root of the disorder means that the narcissist, by definition, violates basic social rules and social conventions. When triggered, especially, they don't show empathy. They are very entitled. They create their own reality from moment to moment, and they don't really care about others' feelings. The rules or social conventions that most elementary school children have already mastered are absent in the adult narcissist. To understand why narcissists can be so mean, you must understand that there are no limits or boundaries when they get triggered. Nothing is off limits with the narcissist when they are upset. No one else in the room has feelings when the narcissist is overwhelmed by his or her own negative emotions and feelings. It's a true onslaught. And to see someone who supposedly cares about and loves you completely deny your and everyone else's reality. If narcissists were foods approved by the FDA, the sticker would read, can be extremely malicious and destructive when provoked. Now, because narcissists' emotional scar involves them being unnoticed, humiliated, or subjugated at a crucial point in their psychological development, the overall topic of succeeding, shining, or getting noticed, it is a loaded issue, filled with primitive and unconscious memories, thoughts, and feelings. So people in close proximity to a malignant narcissist feel confused about why the narcissist has such an intense and often negative reaction when the other person feels really good, succeeds, or shines. Oddly enough, the severe or malignant narcissist takes your success as a reflection on them, but not necessarily in the way that you might be imagining. The mind of a narcissist is a split all or nothing world. If you succeed, their twisted logic tells them that your success means they have failed. Someone else succeeding or shining, especially someone close to them, who they see all the time, is actually very upsetting, even unconsciously painful. This is because they see your success as a missed opportunity for themselves to get a little love or attention. While most people rightly believe that there is enough of all the good stuff to go around, such as love, attention, respect, severe narcissists are convinced that there's only a select few who will get recognized. Now, most people are entirely confused about how the narcissist, or anyone for that matter, can go through so much of their life without ever having learned and accepted some of the most fundamental social laws. At this time, I'd like to look into a disorder commonly referred to as ODD, or oppositional defiant disorder. This is a mental disorder seen in school age children. The diagnosis includes the following criteria. Often, the child loses his temper, argues with adults, often actively defies or refuses to comply with adults' requests or rules, often blames others for his or her mistakes and misbehavior, is often angry and resentful, and is often spiteful or vindictive. If you are in close proximity to a narcissist, you see these very shared characteristics. Children who have oppositional, defiant personalities and adults who have narcissistic personalities are this way for a reason. For a personality to become so resistant, difficult, and all around abnormal, something abnormal in this person's past had to take place over a significant later time or during an especially critical period in that person's development, perhaps within the first several years of life. If you don't emotionally trigger the narcissist, you can have a semblance of a relationship. There won't be real intimacy because intimacy is about equals, and narcissists can't do that no matter what. If you are someone who feels good about yourself, gets noticed and praised by others, and holds themselves or anyone else accountable for major social relationship violations, there's practically no relationship with the narcissist. To make it worse, narcissists require that you alter your entire line of thinking. They have to have the power, they have to have all the control, they have to matter the most in the relationship. Now, without adopting the skewed, counterintuitive framework, the narcissist, from time to time, will always end up making you pay the price for your healthy self esteem. I'd like to share with you today regarding the narcissist, jealous, competitive, and mean nature. For more information, please browse the description box. Remember to like, share, and subscribe this video if it's been helpful, and chat with you next time. Bye bye.